The 1900s Decade, an Era of Success and Inventions by
Drelin and
Hannah Grazel.
The 1900s decade was filled with major accomplishments for our nation. There were many people that had important impacts on the U.S. New things were invented, and the nation had its fair share of popular movies, books, and music. People like Theodore Roosevelt helped shape America with his accomplishments. And without the inventions like the airplane and the electric typewriter, we would not be as advanced as we are today. Within this decade, there were many important and famous people. To start off, there was President William McKinley, who was our nation's 25th president and was shot in his second term on September 14, 1901. Theodore Roosevelt, vice president to McKinley, was then sworn into office as president. McKinley was a decent president and politician. He listened to the public's opinion. He led the nation to victory in the Spanish-American War and gained control of Puerto Rico, Guam, Cuba, and the Philippines. He also annexed the independent Republic of Hawaii and made it a U.S. territory, and established the open door policy to China so that the Chinese were open to all Western nations equally.
Theodore Roosevelt became president directly after McKinley was assassinated. Although he was just a vice president to McKinley, he has been a more memorable president than McKinley. At first he thought that he was a political accident, but when he won the 1904 presidential election by a landslide, he knew it was no accident. He wanted the U.S. to be more active in world politics, and for this he started the construction of the Panama Canal in 1903. The Panama Canal works as a key route for international trade and connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. It is still widely used today and is currently being added to. He was also very popular for his skill in foreign policy. For example, he won the adoption of the Drago Doctrine, which prevented the use of force in collecting foreign debts. Roosevelt also created the Square Deal domestic program, which was based on the 3 C's: conservation of natural resources, control of corporations, and consumer protection, and it aimed at helping the middle-class citizens.
The Pure Food and Drug Act made it illegal to make or sell food and drugs containing false information on product labels or containing improper ingredients. It was effective on June 30th, 1906, and was enacted by the 59th United States Congress. Its main purpose was to ban foreign and interstate traffic in adulterated or mislabeled food and drug products. The Pure Food and Drug Act was signed by President Theodore Roosevelt and was assigned to the Bureau of Chemistry in the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
The Philippine-American War ended in 1902 with an American victory and occupation of the Philippines, which then became an unincorporated territory of the United States. Although the war ended July 4, 1902, some Filipinos saw the war as a continuing struggle for independence. They continued to fight longer. Some of the Philippine Army continued hostilities against American rule until 1913. Some historians consider these extensions as part of the actual war. The United States chose to use its position to nurture, defend, and spread democracy, to establish justice, free market economics, and freedom. As a result of the war, the Philippines became U.S. territory.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was written in 1900 by L. Frank Baum. This book has been translated into hundreds of languages distributed worldwide and has become one of the best-known stories in American culture. In 1902, the book became a musical. The show premiered in Chicago and later moved to Broadway in 1903, where it ran for 293 performances within 2 years. Its initial success and the success of the 1902 Broadway musical led to Baum's writing of 13 more Oz books.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game by the Haydn Quartet became popular in 1908 and has been popular at all Major League Baseball games ever since.